Okay, how are you? How is everybody? You doing okay? I don't know how I am. I'll just be honest. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. Um, I don't know what it is about this job, but many people that are in our kind of industry, being really close to the revenue, have activity that comes in seasons. So you end up with certain periods of time where you don't have a lot of activities going on, but you fill them up just to kind of get your skills going and see what else is out there, etc. For me personally, this is not one of those times. And the reason it's not one of those times is because we're somewhat low on pipeline. You probably have heard this old adage about pipeline. And if you haven't, it's time to learn. It's time to learn the old gospel of tech sales, or really of sales in general. Um, what do I mean by pipeline? So for some people, this is an obvious term. For others, not necessarily so. Pipeline means the opportunities that you have in order to make a sale that has not closed yet. And generally, pipeline comes in different stages. Now, it's going to depend on whether you are using MEDPIC or what kind of staging your particular company uses. But for the most part, most people are going to have a pipeline that looks sort of like this. You have certain pieces of the pipeline that are what we would call discovery, or sometimes they use other words for it. It's like qualifying is another one that you might see. Basically, these are opportunities where you've started an initial conversation with somebody and you think they have a problem, but you haven't quite figured out whether or not your solution is appropriate for solving that problem because you don't have enough information. That's usually how that works. You'd be surprised to find that sometimes your sales reps or even management may not understand that that's what qualifying means. I know that sounds really crazy because you'd think that having these very specific definitions means that stuff always falls in the appropriate bucket. But guess what? Humans are kind of ambiguous, and it's just how it works. I personally like to very specifically say that qualifying means you do not have enough information to know whether or not the solution is appropriate. Okay. Then the next step is going to be, sometimes it's called in progress. Sometimes it is broken up into multiple steps. But essentially you have a set of steps where you know that, or at least you believe that the solution is appropriate for the customer. And it depends on what kind of technology you're selling as to how many steps may be in this process. Because it could be something very simple. You might not go through very much of a proof of concept in order to get the technical solution out there. You may just ask a couple of qualifying questions and give them access to the tool for 30 days and they're off to the races. But in a world like mine, where I have a lot of products that I'm responsible for and I have a customer with very, very long sales times and lots of steps in order to go through that process, that in progress part, or whatever steps you want to call it, is going to have a lot of pieces to it. For me personally, usually I've got meetings with the customer to find out what exact requirements are. I have meetings to find out what their temperature is on getting assistance to deploy a project, because sometimes certain industries are allergic to services, or you may have to work with a third party in order to provide services for your product. Some products don't require any services at all. It's literally just, here's your API key, see you later. And so you'll need to know if those things are going to be involved in whatever product you're working with. You also need to know if there are sizing constraints. So some products, like hardware products, for example, are really great, are really interesting because they oftentimes will have sizing for both software and hardware. So you really need to be a master of understanding how that particular solution works, whether there are any additional constraints that exist outside. For example, a lot of the stuff that I work with is going to require integration with authentication providers. So you need to know if that customer is using an authentication provider that you don't support, whether you need to go to engineering and have them add something, or you need to make changes, those kinds of things. Then there's also all other qualifiers, like what's the scope of the solution? How many stakeholders are there that need to buy in on it? Because in some scenarios, you may just have one person that makes that decision, and in some scenarios, you may have 25. Sometimes in the renewals process, which is where I'm dealing with enterprise deals, I might have 60, 70 people that have to be involved from the customer side. There may be almost that many on the sales side, because I work in a large enterprise. So, and the customer that I work with is like one of the largest telecom providers in the US. So there's going to be a lot that goes into a 9-figure deal. Like those are monstrous, and there are lots of people that get involved in that kind of thing, and multiple products, and it's a different deal than what most of you will be doing. But even at the smaller scale, you still need to know who your stakeholders are. You need to know who your champion is. Is there somebody that is leaning hard to have your solution be the one that gets brought on? Are there detractors? Are there people that you need to have special care and feeding with in order to ensure that your product not only lands but stays? And then there are other personas that you may need to convince, like the C-suite or directors, actual individual contributors. For some companies, that's a common way to sell. For us, that happens to be a somewhat common way to sell, or at least it used to be. Generally, most people want to do top-down, but it takes a little bit of time for a top-down sale. So oftentimes, bottom-up is the only way you really can do it. And then once you think about those things and you start putting all that together, then there is this concept called the technical win. And essentially, a technical win is when you have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the technical aspects of the thing that you are building, the solution you're putting together, have been met, that the customer cannot come up with a technical objective. Sorry, I said objective, but I meant objection. So you won't find a technical objection to the solution that you provide for them. And in some organizations, like your Salesforce or Zoho or HubSpot, might actually have like a little checkbox that you have built in there that says technical win has been achieved. Some organizations do that, some don't. It's basically the technical resource can sign out, and now everything goes to that sales rep or business development rep or whoever to close a sale, right? It's in the customer and the sales team's hands at that point. And then finally, closing. So closing is that step where a contract has been signed, and that can take a long period of time. You'd be surprised. In larger companies, sometimes that can take like a month or longer to go through procurement. So don't expect that you're going to see the actual closing of your deal, at least not in a large size deal. Like if you're just selling API calls and it's fairly trivial for a customer to adopt your solution fairly quickly because they can just like run a corporate credit card to use it, then that's a different deal. But if you are selling products that are tens of thousands of dollars, or in sometimes even millions of dollars, they are going to have to run that through a procurement process, because that's going to be eating out of capital. And for most companies, this isn't always true, but for most companies, capital expenditures are an order of magnitude more difficult than OpEx dollars. So be thinking about those different steps in the process in the sales cycle, and most importantly, fill up that pipeline, because all of those different steps along the way can end up sort of eating up your deal that you no longer have access to. So be cognizant, and the golden rule that they say is 3 times whatever you're going to sell, you should be what you aim for, because somewhere between 25 and 30% of your deals are what end up making it all the way to the finish line once you have gone through that process. So it's not for the faint of heart, but let me know if you guys have any questions or anything else you want to chat about, and I'll come back at you again soon.